Hello everyone! I wanted to hop on and talk a little bit about Libra season. We had the fall equinox on the 22nd, which is when the sun is on the cusp of Virgo and Libra. We just had the new moon yesterday, so we are in the orb of all this cuspy, liminal, dark moon energies. And so it is a time of transition into a new cycle. The fall, Libra season, a new moon cycle, kind of all converging at once. So the time is very ripe to evaluate the end of this past cycle and what you consciously want to bring with you into the next cycle and what you'd like to leave behind. And we're talking in terms of just the month for the lunar cycle, 28 days of new creations, but also as we go into the fall, into the winter, and leading up to the beginning of the new zodiacal year at the end of winter at the spring equinox. So there's that longer cycle happening as well. So we will have about the next 6 months, the second half of the zodiacal year now in fall and winter, to be clearing our slate for the energies that no longer serve us. It is a death process. It has to do with underworld descents and that Pluto work of taking a good, honest, hard look at what's going on in your life, clearing out the old energies that are maybe remnants of social conditioning or whatever it is that's no longer serving you, and putting forth a conscious intention based on all the information that you've gathered in true Virgo form about what exactly you're going to bring into the next cycle because it will serve you moving forward. Now, that's the Virgo piece of it, but we're also in Libra season talking about the Libra new moon and the fall equinox that just happened. So this is all about relationships. We have relationships, yes, with other people, but we also have relationships with really everything. We have relationships to material objects, people, of course, places, things, pets, concepts, feelings, time itself, and life itself. We have an entire web of relationships that really is the stuff of life. We are given experiences, we have our reactions and our responses to those experiences, and that back and forth relationship is really what makes life life. The connections that are growing in the garden of your life are really important. Which ones do you want to nourish a little bit more? Which ones are maybe needing a little bit more nourishment? Which ones are needing to be deadheaded and just plucked, weeded from your garden? And then of course we all have those relationships that are doing their thing. It's not a bad time to even show some appreciation for those connections that are just so right on with you that they require so little maintenance, and you can just bless them and thank them for being in your garden with you. So taking a look at what's growing in the garden of our connections, in the garden of our relationships, is just the perfect medicine for this post-new moon, post-fall equinox, cuspy, liminal time where we are still feeling the lingering effects of that Virgo magic and combining it with Libra magic to really get the pulse on how our energy is being spent. Because all of these little connections, be it with a home, a car, a person, a job, a role, an idea, an ism, whatever it is, they take from us. It takes time, attention, energy, and a lot of it goes on unconsciously. So we're not even aware of how much these little invisible strings are drawing from our energy. Some of it's worth it, some of it not so much. So it's just the perfect time, and I really encourage you to get a handle on it. And we can still grab some of that Virgo medicine, which is very practical magic. Write it out. Create pros and cons lists. Come up with lists of all of the different connections that you have to any person, place, thing, concept, idea, feeling in your life. And is that serving you or not? Maybe try and prioritize these different relationships. And like I said before, look at if some of them need a little TLC, tender loving care, or if they're doing pretty good and you can just kind of just enjoy the benefits of that steady course. And then maybe there are those relationships to, again, people, places, things, roles, jobs, responsibilities, energetic contracts, that it's time for that to leave you and go from whence it came. Because this is what this time of year is for. Virgo and Libra are all about settling the score, doing your accounting work, You separate the wheat from the chaff. In Virgo, you take what serves you and you let the rest go the wayside. Put it to rest. Honor it, thank it, show it gratitude. End your relationships consciously. Make amends, settle the score, right? Libra is all about balance. So you want to do things in a way that is conscientious, that honors my truth and your truth. Libra is all about truth. And it is just a really good time to re-up your concept of what is true for you, what truly serves you, what is truly in your best interest. You don't necessarily need to know exactly what you're going to do about a situation, but build that awareness in this time. Just take a good, hard, honest look at the connections that you're sustaining and whether or not you truly want to bring these into the next cycle. It's okay if so. And even if you need to fudge it a little and you know it's probably not good for you, but you're not ready to let it go, that's okay too. Virgo's shadow is perfectionism, so those shadow sides of these archetypes are not going to serve us well either, right? Do what you can to clean house. And you can even do like a little cord cutting ceremony. Do something symbolic, light a specific candle, write it on a piece of paper and burn it. But those tangible rituals, that practical Virgo magic is actually really helpful as a symbolic gesture to say, I'm done with whatever, and you can make it really general. Virgo loves efficiency, so this is a really efficient way to do it, is just in all time space, for all purposes and intents, I am letting go of what no longer serves me, and then just see what happens in life. If things come up and you can make some decisions and things, change things, nurture certain things, whatever it is you feel called to do with that connection, just put the intention out there and see what happens. Do whatever feels right for you to make that symbolic gesture, to make that clear intention to your subconscious that you're ready for this process. Virgo is all about processes, so get the processes started. Communicate to your subconscious what you intend to do, but before you are going to be really clear on those intentions, again, it's this work of identifying, gather information. You know, our most fundamental relationship is actually with ourselves. And a lot of us don't really know ourselves that well. So it seems maybe silly and rudimentary, but start to write out what are your likes and dislikes. Look into love languages and see what your needs are and what, if anything, in your life is actually meeting those needs. If not, what are little small things I can do to start to get that process going to where my needs are being met and sustained and I'm being fulfilled by my connections as well. And there's this reciprocity and this mutuality of giving and receiving that is just a beautiful constant flow. That's like the energy of a really healthy relationship, is just this mutual exchange. And sometimes one person's going to be really up and one person's going to be really down, and we ride that wave together. But you know, if you look at the overall picture, and this might take writing some things down, giving yourself some examples, journaling over time, and just kind of see what the balance is. Is this person sustaining you? Is this person draining you? Is this item, this job, this role, this concept sustaining or draining? This is a perfect time to gather information about anything related to this topic that you feel inspired to work on at this time. Virgo really likes to break things down into small, manageable steps, little sips of shadow work, confrontation of self, right? Little beautiful rituals that you can engage in every morning, whether it's your cup of coffee or going for a walk. Those are my two examples. Whatever it is that you do that is an investment in your relationship with yourself, in your relationship with something more eternal and beyond all of those other daily priorities and things we have to do that take precedence over our relationship with ourselves, over looking at the balance of relationships in our life in general, over prioritizing ourselves and looking at this kind of thing. There are so many things in this life that we have to do that we don't like, and that it doesn't directly feel like we're getting to work on ourselves or the things that we want to work on, but they have their place, and see them and appreciate them. Have gratitude for the work that you do, even if it's not what you totally want to be doing. You know, a lot of us are not in that boat to be really doing exactly what we want to do, and then even so many of us, when we start to do the job that we really, really wanted, it's not always exactly what we thought it was going to be, right? So life kind of gives us what we need, not necessarily what we always want in the moment. But we can still look at what's really working for us, what maybe needs improvement, and take small steps towards shifting that balance to where you are just in your zone. You are just fully supported to be your peaceful, most authentic, most amazing self without, again, bringing in any perfectionism around it. This is a process. You have your whole life to do this work, so there's no one season or day or cycle where you're going to be able to do it all in one sweep. That's just not how it works. So take your time with this. Look, the reality is we have an energy budget. We only have so much time and energy in the day to do things. And there's a lot that we have to do that is not along these lines necessarily, or not directly. So we got to get those covered. But then on the outskirts of your life, if you can look at how that energy is being spent and make small adjustments over time, you're going to see that balance shift to where you have more of yourself than you ever imagined you would have. And it just gets better and better. So start small, start today, just kind of go with what you're inspired to look at. Go with what feels right. There's a lot and you don't have to do it all at once, and you can't. Sometimes when we're operating from the level of all of the overwhelming stuff that needs to happen so that ... that can be a way for us to avoid looking at ourselves, to avoid looking at these kinds of things, to avoid, to deny, to escape from the responsibility that we have to start to work where we can, control what we have control over with this balance, and to start to make adjustments that are sustainable and that we can bite off as much as we can chew and no more, to try to build our life more according to plan, right? I'm doing this video because the energies are right for it, but this is evergreen stuff in the sense that this is an astrological transit, but this is a process you can do anytime. Don't be that kind of person that gets overwhelmed by astrological transits because you think this has to be done on a specific timeline. Every moment, every second, every week, every month, every year, every season, we have these liminal spaces all the time. Every day we have handfuls of opportunities to do this work where we can sit and acknowledge the reality of our lives, look at the balance very clearly and very honestly, and look for little cracks and graces and spaces where we have the ability and the access and the power to shift things a little. And all those little micro shifts are ultimately going to bring you to where you really want to be. Know yourself well, know what you're about, know what your clear intentions are for what you would like to do. Put it out there. Do little things that you are inspired to do every day, and see how this starts to snowball in your favor. It's awesome. This isn't necessarily about the specific actions you're going to take in a bigger sense. Wait and let life show you what the next step is, and have the courage to take that step. Just keep your focus clear on what you're wanting, what you're intending to create, and have that courage to step out onto the branch and take that little risk of belief in yourself. And I'm telling you, the people, places, things, connections are going to come in to support you and help wingman you into your future. It's really, really magic, and this is the way that we start that process going, is by clearing out old programs, getting really clear on what we're wanting, making that intention, making that good faith effort, extending my hand to the universe and say like, hey, I'm ready to shake on this, let's make a deal, and see what the universe brings you in return to start to make that happen. But it all has to be sustainable, and if an opportunity passes you by, that's okay, another one's gonna come. Don't get too caught up in the details. We don't have to think in advance of every single step we're going to have to take. That's where sort of the trust and the faith and the clear intentions keep us aligned and keep us channeling in that zone, right? So I would say with that, do some work, do some journaling, do some research, whatever you feel called or inspired to do around this topic, around looking at your finite time and energy in a day, where that's being spent, and what is the nature of those relationship to those things, places, peoples, roles, concepts, ideas, etc., and how can you make little changes today, every day, that better support you. You need sources and connections that renew you and sustain you. It's nourishing to help others and to do good by others and to do the right thing, because it does make us feel good. But at the end of the day, we need support. We need real material support and people to talk to and people who love us and encourage us and things like that. So take the pulse of your relationship. See if you have a healthy relationship with yourself, if you feel like your relationship to life is healthy. And if not, relationships take work. And so I encourage you to do that work. And it is as simple as intending to do so, as telling the universe, I'm ready, I want this, show me the way. Bring me the people, places, things, steps, opportunities, etc. that are going to get me where I want to go. So go ahead, get real clear, gather all the information you need, do what feels right, be super honest with yourself, be super honest with others wherever possible. Honor your truth, honor the different truths that others hold, and just see where they align and where they don't. And with nothing personal to you or anyone else, just really try to look at it objectively and start to prioritize the things that bring you what you want, bring you joy, sustain you, nourish you, etc. because you totally deserve it. You are worth it. I'm here in support. Get at me in the comments if you have any thoughts or feelings about this topic or any other future topics that you would like me to explore. I am happy to hear from you. As always, subscribe, like, comment, share, all of the things to help spread this wonderful astrological knowledge and working with the seasons and working with the energies and the opportunities that are available to all of us. All right, have a fabulous day. Go out there and crush all your relationships to all the wonderful people, places, things, thoughts, concepts, roles, jobs, everything in your life and to life itself. I bless you on this journey and have a wonderful deconditioning journey until we meet again.